In this video, I have made a video about the job Haruki Murakami had before he became a novelist. Haruki Murakami got married when he was a student, and to earn money to live on, he looked for a job. At first, I thought it would be nice to get a job, and I visited a TV station where I had connections, but I stopped because the job description was so ridiculous. I didn't want to be part of the system, or to dress up in a suit and work for a company. Instead of doing that, I wanted to do proper work on my own, even in a small place. I wanted a job where I could choose the ingredients with my own hands, make things with my own hands, and serve them to customers with my own hands. But in the end, the only thing I could do was to work at a jazz cafe. I love jazz anyway, and I wanted to do something related to jazz, even if only a little. Then he left his wife's parents' house and opened a jazz cafe named Peter Cat. I wanted to be independent, my way. So, I opened a small jazz club. I was young and optimistic in many aspects. My basic attitude was, I'm doing what I like to do, so it will most likely work out that way. What was this jazz club like? I served coffee during the day, and it became a bar at night. I served a modest amount of food, and on the weekends, I put together a program of live music. Such restaurants were still rare at the time, so I had a steady flow of customers, and the business was doing well. Incidentally, the grand piano that was in the jazz club at the time was donated to the Haruki Murakami Library at Waseda University. Haruki Murakami himself made cocktails, sandwiches, cabbage rolls, etc., and served customers. I greeted customers with a friendly welcome and made small talk with regular customers. I thought, I'm not cut out for this, but I did my best to make a living. Looking back, I am proud to say that I was unusually sociable for someone like me at the time. However, when I meet people I knew back then for the first time in a long time, they often say, "You were always really unsociable and hardly talked at all." Around this time, he contributed an article to a jazz-related magazine as a jazz cafe owner. The title of the article is Tips for Becoming a Jazz Cafe Master. This was before he started writing novels yet. Here are some excerpts. I would like to start a jazz cafe. What is the most required quality? Fearless energy. Then, what is the most unnecessary thing? It is intelligence. How many records do I need at least? If you have the guts, 15 records will do. I often hear that jazz cafe masters are popular with girls. In such cases, is it okay to go out with the girls who are customers? Please be relieved to know that jazz cafe masters are not popular with girls. Every time I go to a famous jazz cafe and look at the record shelves and audio equipment, I feel overwhelmed and feel like I'm not good enough. It is wrong to go to such places. Come to my jazz cafe. I plan to serve alcohol, but what should I do if someone gets drunk and makes a scene? There was once a movie called Battleship Bounty. In that movie, all the heretics were thrown off the ship and into the sea. I am currently in college. Should I graduate? Speaking from experience, the cover of the diploma is right on the menu. The writing is humorous, as is typical of Haruki Murakami. Gradually, the management of the jazz cafe becomes stable, and all debts are paid off. Working selflessly, I hired people and became profitable. And by the time I reached the end of my 20s, I was finally able to take a break. I had finally climbed one of life's steep stairs and found myself in a bit of open space. Once I reached this point, I felt confident that I would be able to get through the rest, even if things got a little rough. Haruki Murakami graduated from college after beginning his work. The title of his graduation thesis was The Genealogy of Travel in American Cinema. I just put what I was thinking at the time into the form of a sentence. Americans are always in search of the frontier or the unknown. In other words, they are afraid of being fixed. I have always felt that this is both a strength and a weakness of American culture. I thought about these things when I was a student, and that is exactly what I did for my senior thesis. I got an A+ grade, and my thesis advisor told me, "You should become a writer." What do you think? He wrote that even after becoming a novelist, he still liked being a jazz cafe owner.